Okay, so we lost a few people to catch their flights, but the rest of you are in for a real treat. We have some insights from the building products leaders here, and one of the real ahas for me over the last couple of years is how the people who are really doing the research to design the great products aren't getting the opportunity to spend time with the architects and the builders that are speccing them and building them. So, and they do a lot of research, and they see the repair and remodel side of the business too, so you're in for a great education. I'm going to turn this over to Steve Basten, who we were lucky enough to steal from Kohler. And actually, I'm so lucky that David Kohler actually got pissed at me, and I had to promise not to hire any more people from Kohler. That is true. So that was not pretty to get David Kohler pissed off at me. But I'm going to turn this over to Steve and let him run the panel, and then we'll do the game-changing takeaways afterwards. Thanks.
All right, so we have the group after lunch. John is right. This is the best panel of the entire session. This is something that you guys aren't going to hear every day. This is my passion. This is my first love, product manufacturing. So it's really kind of cool to be up here and get to talk to these three. And once upon a time, I actually interviewed with Shane for a job. So this is pretty neat and full circle. But thanks for sticking around with us. First, we have Katie. Katie comes from Mohawk Industries. She's held various roles there. Now she's in a customer-facing role. Laura is the head of global innovation for DuPont, now DuPont Dow. So oversees Tyvek and their various product lines. And Shane Allis has had a lot of roles at Kohler, and he has a really big job now. He's the director of sanitary for Styling Space and Smart Homes. So colors, finishes, artist editions, all the really cool stuff that you see in the bathroom, in the Styling Space rolls up under Shane. And with that, I'll let you guys each kind of do an intro of your company and what you're up to, and maybe talk about kind of the latest and greatest, and then we'll go into pretty interactive Q&A.
Okay. Do they have the slides?
Yes. Do we have the clicker?
Is it up there? Yeah. I'm going to sit on the edge of the chair because I'm too short to sit in the back of the chair. First of all, thank you guys so much for having us. And I feel like all of us up here very much appreciate the fact that you want to know what we do on a daily basis, and not only what we have to offer, but how that can actually benefit you. So thank you for that. I am with Mohawk. And here's something that I don't think a lot of people know. I mean, how many people in the room know the name Mohawk and the brand? Okay, so I think that that's great. I'm relieved to hear that. But I don't know if a lot of people realize that under our umbrella, we have acquired over 44 other brands and companies and manufacturers over the last 4 years. So when you look up there, you see names like Mohawk Group, Aladdin, Karastan, Del Tile, Durkin. This is Mohawk. This is our Mohawk family. So if that's not something that you're utilizing now, you might be actually utilizing it in some of your projects, and you just didn't know that it was part of the Mohawk family. So that is a big deal for us that we are able to offer that. As I mentioned, we have 44 acquisitions that we have been able to grow our company to. What that means is that has actually put us over as a $10 billion company. That is a huge buying power and a position that we're able to help support you as the end user much better. The other component that I feel like is most important on this screen, 6.5 billion pounds of landfill material. It's diverted from landfill because of Mohawk. Our story is extremely green. We are all about renewable resources. We are all about the sustainability and what we have to offer, and how we can take what is normally just a standard flooring product and take it to the next level. And at this day and age, our buyers, they want to know what they're getting that's more than what they're paying for in their home. The other component, and I'm sure I'll touch on it later, but 97% of all of Mohawk is produced in the USA. That controllability is huge. That ability for us to be able to say to you, we can handle that, we can fix that. We actually had to fix an issue last week with one of our LVPs coming in a weird dye lot. In less than 24 hours, that product was pulled off the shelf. It was stuck in a QC inspection. And 24 hours later, a whole new batch had been run, and the builder did not miss his closing. That would not have happened if it was one of our imported products. So we are very, very proud to be able to stamp that American flag on 97% of our products. The other thing Just to kind of touch on, I'd mentioned, we have the acquisitions, but more than that, Mohawk is vertically integrated. Why that's important? Because we are now controlling the design story of what we do. We're not having to adapt our design position because the manufacturer can only provide us certain looks and certain types of products. So we're controlling the design, we're controlling the sourcing. We know what goes into our products because we own it. We also are controlling the actual production line, the technology that goes into it, and then all the way to it getting to your door, we're handling the distribution. So that is a really, really important part of what we're able to do start to finish when it comes to how we can partner with you. Last two couple things, I really like for people to understand that when you have Mohawk, we literally have every type of flooring that you would have in your house, whether it's LVP, carpet, Revwood laminate, our Techwood engineered flooring. We've got you covered. And with all of our acquisitions of tile, we have our own tile line, but we also have unlimited resources for you. And I think that's also really important to know that you don't have to look outside of Mohawk to get what you need. And then lastly, the kind of the same sustainability. I've been listening through the last 2 days, and that theme, that thread has been a common thread running through all of our stories. What a lot of people don't know, we take foam cushions from unused furniture and we turn them into our carpet pad. We take tires and we turn them into welcome mats. So our PET carpet is made from 100% recycled bottles. I can go on and on about this, but that's pretty much what we have to offer in a nutshell. And one of the things I want to say quickly on this is a lot of people are looking for the innovation and technology of, what can you impress me with? What is this product? How is it going to perform? But one of the things that we're seeing is it's actually how it's affecting the builders at their selection level of their process. So I mentioned we have our Revwood laminate. It's actually made from 100% yellow pine. Why is that a big deal? Because we can now promote that as a hard surface program. We can blend our laminate story in with a hard engineered wood program so that instead of the builder having to go to an LVP product to save money, they can actually go to our Revwood laminate. So they're getting significant base house cost savings on your home. Your buyer is getting a product that has a lifetime warranty, visuals that look like a level 3 or a level 4, but they're getting everything that they want and that they need. And again, that's kind of thinking outside of the box. People think, they're not thinking of how that's actually going to benefit them on the design side. But that's just kind of one innovation component that I think is setting us apart from our sustainability as well as our integration that we're doing.
That's great. That's wonderful. Laura?
Big green button. Big green button. Hello, everyone. Laura Dwyer. I'm the Global Innovation Leader for DuPont, soon to be the new DuPont. And I'm going to talk just a little bit about that change because we've talked a lot about change and how to do things differently. And at DuPont, we merged two companies, our construction businesses that actually competed with each other or thought we did. So they told us we're going to merge, and we went, okay. And then immediately got excited because the actual merge of our portfolio gives us really robust solutions for the building envelope to help manage water, air, and thermal for basements, walls, and roofs. But what was really fun about this merger is it also gave us an opportunity to take a step back and ask ourselves, as CR Hero said yesterday, who do we want to be in 10 years? And from an innovation perspective and from a growth perspective. So I share this because, as everyone knows, in the construction space, we are notoriously slow to adopt new things. And so part of our challenge and opportunity, because we're intersecting with trends that are happening faster in our space than we've seen in a long time. And I would say both of our heritage companies, I'm actually worked for DuPont, and my coworker and colleague, Jody Cursus over here is with the Dow business. I would say both of our businesses did a great job of adding things to our portfolio that improved the portfolio, provided more robust solutions, but we weren't really thinking about breakout growth. And so we have a wonderful opportunity as a blended business to really think about innovation differently and think beyond the product portfolio that we have today and think more about how we can help build solutions for the future. So what we're really starting with is addressing market needs. And we're looking at really 4 key areas, and you've heard these areas, so I'm not going to belabor them. But smart enabling and sensing, a really deep dive into construction productivity. How can we do things faster and better and easier, and yet make sure that they're still affordable? We're looking at sustainability and energy efficiency, and we're also looking at about that safe, resilient built environment. And you know, we have some core technical pillars that you'll see on the outside that we can bring to bear to help solve the problems or the opportunities that we address in these spaces, but we may need to add more. So we're really looking at taking a step back and saying, in 10 years, who do we want to be as a supplier to the industry, and what will we want to be offering as that supplier of the future? So I'm not going to talk a lot about products. If you want to know about DuPont products, I'm all in. If you want to know about the Heritage Dow product portfolio, Jody's all in, and we can both talk about who we are. But I think most importantly for our organization and really kind of our industry at large is this quote, and it basically says, if you don't like change, you're going to like irrelevance even less. And so we're creating solutions to make sure that we as an industry and as a company aren't irrelevant moving forward.
I love that because I think we've heard this many times over the last 2 days. Disruption's taking place. It might be coming later to this industry than other industries, but that's a great quote and a constant reminder. I think if there's one group of people in the value chain that think about it more than anybody, it's the product manufacturers that invest 5 to 10% of their entire P&L into MPD, innovation, product design. And I think we heard John say just yesterday, it was 50 basis points that home builders do. Not to say that that's not enough, but these guys are the ones that are really spending the dollars to figure out how to keep themselves in business in the future and constantly innovate and develop products. And we'll touch on that more later. Shane.
Yeah, thank you. So excited to be here today to talk to you about product development and innovation at Kohler. Specifically, I want to talk to you a little bit about the journey we've been on as it relates to the introduction of our smart home products and business. Kohler has a long history of innovation, but what was it that really drew us to this space, and why did we decide to go into it? A big factor in this was how rapidly voice control has found its way into the home, particularly with the smart speakers. Smart speakers have grown at, or have had a faster adoption rate than any other consumer electronic. About 50% of homes already have smart speakers in them, and we've found statistics where 42% of the current users feel that those are an essential part of their everyday life, and 85% say that they plan on purchasing additional smart products within the next year. Also, the projections are that 75% of all households will have them by 2020. So this was a key trend, and we were then trying to understand, okay, how can this apply in the bathroom space, and how can technology continue to grow in the bathroom space? So from some additional research we had done, we wanted to understand, what are consumers' interest in using technology in the bathroom? One interesting statistic was 65% of consumers admit to taking their phone or tablet into the bathroom. We think the other 35% are probably lying, but of those people that said that they are taking technology into the bathroom, we want to understand, what do you want that technology to do for you? And this shows what really rose to the top as far as what they wanted that technology to do. And that was just to improve current tasks that they're doing today, enhance their overall experience, and also they felt there was opportunity to enable the deeper personal health awareness and early intervention, which is an interesting one. So all of this helped shape the vision for us as a smart home team, and that vision is that the world will know Kohler as the brand that provides smart environments that help consumers care for themselves and the ones they love. One of the things that's important with this is we need to make sure that we aren't embedding technology for technology's sake. We need to make sure that there's meaningful use cases with the products that we are developing, and that at the end of the day, it's something that consumers are going to value and want to put in their homes. So key to all of this is what we call our Kohler Connect platform. This is what makes the product smart. So 4 key components to this overall platform. First one being the products themselves that would be installed in the space. The cloud, which is of course the brains of the operation. There's the Kohler Connect app, which is really critical for initial setup of the products, but then also allows for customization, saving settings to memory, and then you can use the app for ongoing control as well. And the 4th key component is really the partnerships. We're partnering with industry leaders on these products, particularly as it relates to voice. So Amazon, Google, Apple, they're critical for our success moving forward. So a little bit on the products themselves. As I said before, Kohler's got a long history of innovation. Digital products are something that we've been doing for many years now, and really the evolution to make them connected and to have voice control in them was a logical step for us. So we've taken some of our existing products that we had, the DTV thermostatic shower valve, our Verdera lighted mirrors, Sensate touchless faucets, and now we have those connected and where they have the voice control. So with all of this happening from a product development standpoint, we made the logical choice of introducing the world to Kohler Connect at CES. We made our first appearance at CES in 2018. The big question that we had was, how is this all going to be received? We didn't know were the attendees and the media that cover CES going to be ready for smart products in the bathroom. And fortunately for us, the answer was yes. At the 2018 show, we had over 1,400 media placements with 3.4 billion media impressions overall. And then we were there again this year in January, and those placements went up to 2,900 with over 4 billion impressions. So we had a really great response to the launch of the products and the introduction of the Kohler Connect platform, and very eager to continue to build on that. So overall, we really think we're just touching, we're scratching the surface right now with what smart home technologies are going to allow us to do in the home, and we really feel it's going to be transformational for both Kohler Company and the industry.
That's great, Shane. All right, so I have a lot of questions that I want to ask the audience, and I want this to be really interactive. We have over 20 minutes left. And some things that I remember from working in new product development were, where does the inspiration start? You know, that was really kind of, where does the design journey start? How does innovation begin? And Max and Susan talked about it yesterday. We heard today from Nino and from Renee. And really these mega trends, you know, health and wellness, connectivity, sustainability. I know these are marketing folks up here, but I want them to have the opportunity to talk to you guys and explain that these are tenets that they probably think about every single day, and even ones that I'm sure weren't even talked about when they're designing new products, new programs, building the home of the future, products of the future. So I guess, what does it mean to you guys? How big of a consideration is it? You know, what are the things that you think about daily when you're developing new products that your industrial designers are thinking about? It's informing the design strategy, the product innovation, and if anyone can start, but I think this group would enjoy hearing it.
I'll just get started. I think when we're looking at innovating in the solution space, we really rely on talking to the market. So talking to the folks in the room, talking to people along the value chain, because I think in the past both companies probably had introduced some products that we thought were fabulous, and then you went out and an installer says, yeah, I'm never doing that. So it's so important from an innovation perspective to engage the stakeholders and who's going to be engaged with that product. And then coming here, I mean, what a great opportunity. I learned some neat things that we'll take back and consider from an innovation perspective. So listening to the marketplace, understanding some of the challenges that we have, changing energy codes, building more in denser communities. What are some of the challenges from an envelope perspective to help make things more sustainable, more resilient, more energy efficient, more durable, and then really test those concepts with the market at large. And to me, that's a critical part of the innovation pipeline.
I think Shane probably has an opinion, because if anyone spends more time dreaming, it might be Kohler.
Yeah, so I'll talk about a specific example of something that we did a couple years ago that really helped to shape smart home. We formed a dedicated team that included product marketing, channel marketing, industrial design, and market research, and they were the bathroom of the future team. And they spent several weeks just looking at the trends, collecting information, talking to futurists, really trying to think about what will it look like, not just 5 years from now, but what will it look like 20 years from now. And a lot of the ideas that came from that are really helping to shape our product development today. So certainly all of the feedback from the market and understanding the current trends are extremely important. We are trying to take that next step, if you will, and look beyond that so that we can stay on the leading edge.
Katie?
Well, it's interesting. One of the reasons why I came to Mohawk is because I truly believe that they have set themselves apart when it comes to the technology and innovation component of flooring. Because the reality is, for carpet, it is more important than fuzzy side up. And outside of cabinets and countertops, flooring is the highest price point of upgrade in a home. It's also the only product in a home that gets utilized every single day. No matter what, we have to walk across our flooring. So I've been very proud to have aligned myself with a company that takes this much pride in the technology advancements. But what we were missing until 2 years ago was it performs, and that's great, but it's not pretty. And I feel like I can say that because my background is design. Prior to coming to Mohawk, I was running the builder division for an installation company. So product performance was a really, really big deal because I was the one getting the calls when somebody walked across your floor or when they slid the new refrigerator and they scratched it and the homeowner is in the closing. So for us to be able to pair the technology, to pair the partnerships that we have made with IVC as our vinyl manufacturing, as I mentioned, Del Tile, Marazzi, Del Tile now, they are manufacturing quartz in Dixon, Tennessee. The top 10 colors of quartz are being made domestically in the U.S. that are not affected by tariffs. So we're aligning ourselves with these smart partners, if you will. Actually, DuPont and Mohawk, one of our biggest innovations to date is the Triexta Smart Strand fiber in our carpet. It is a fiber that was created, the best of both worlds, from a poly fiber and a nylon fiber was created between Mohawk and DuPont. It's one of the best performing carpets out on the market. So we are constantly trying to evolve and reinvent ourselves. The reason we're doing it, though, is because of you. Because the builders are coming to us and they're saying, we've got to have a floor that can withstand trade damage because flooring's going in with 3 more weeks before closing. What can you offer? So we raised our hand and we said, we're going to invent RevWood. We're going to give you an actual hard surface that doesn't scratch. You have got a waterproof, a water-resistant component to it. We created Smart Strand because buyers said, we want to live on our carpet. We don't want to worry about it. We want something that no matter what, it is completely stain proof. So I do feel like all of our responses have been an answer to the call to action from you as the builders, the GCs, and then ultimately all of our clients, which are the buyers and the renters that give us our jobs.
That's great. I want to talk about affordability because that is a huge theme and it's a huge problem. It's a barrier to home ownership. And we look at rising material costs, we look at tariffs. What are you guys doing to solve that problem? How are you creating beautiful products that will resonate with first-time buyers and with retirees that are affordable and that help drive the overall cost of the home down?
You go ahead.
No.
I went first last time, your turn.
No, I just was going to jump on this because, interesting enough, the flooring is one of the last things in the home. So the flooring dealers, the flooring manufacturers, we've been the last component of being able to pass along our increases. So there's been a lot of absorption from the flooring manufacturers. There's been a lot of absorption from the dealers and the installers, so that we don't pass that on to you guys, because by the stage of that home, you might have been over a gas line that you didn't know was there, and you just had to sink 25 grand into kind of configuring that lot. So why that's a big deal, I had mentioned just something as simple as our programs that we offer. We sell millions of square feet of LVP every year. It's a product that we're proud of. But at the end of the day, builders want products that are going to set themselves apart. They want something that is going to give that buyer the feeling that they're upgrading by choosing you and not sacrificing because they needed the price point. And so that's, again, not to harp on Revwood, but if you've ever not seen our Revwood product, highly recommend that you check this out. That's what we went ahead and did. We created these products that would give you all that base house savings on your product, so that your buyer has more money to put into the home to get all the other things, the upgraded faucets, or whatever it may be that they're also passionate about, but they're not sacrificing the design component because of what it actually looks like at that entry-level price.
Yeah, and so the building envelope's the first thing that goes up. And so we're really thinking about how to do it differently, because building envelopes can be complex. And we've done some really deep market, we went out and talked to 120 people across the industry. And really what they told us is really simple, and it's something everybody in this room knows. Make it easier for me to do, make it faster for me to do, and I can't pay more for it. I just can't. So in order to do that, we've got to do things differently. And, we've had some conversation, waste. I think 50% of raw materials globally go into construction, and 40% of waste goes into the landfill from construction. So there's just got to be better ways. So we're really kind of looking at how do we help the industry build differently? How do we maybe use off-site manufacturing more holistically? Or are there ways for us to simplify the site installation, and how can we maybe help with installation? We're really looking at things to be way beyond product, because we have to do things differently in order, A, just to build enough to meet demand, and B, to make sure that what we build is attainable based on the location and the price point of a specific market.
Yeah, from a Kohler perspective, we have a very wide breadth of products covering a lot of different price points. Along with that, we also have our Sterling brand, which is really a brand that's certainly targeted to the builder. So from a design perspective, we want to make sure that we're always adding meaningful designs to the portfolios, being both Sterling and Kohler. I was talking with Steve earlier that I think one of the key things, based on a lot of the discussions today, beyond just affordability, are the small space solutions. With a lot of the discussions with the architect panel, that was something that really resonated with me. And with the small space solutions, they're going to have to be affordable, of course, but they're also going to have that great design.
That's great. Okay, good and bad trends, they come and go. This is an opportunity to say, hey, we did this wrong once, but we're doing it better now. Have you ever made a mistake, Shane? Have you guys ever done anything you felt was a misstep?
Yeah.
Wrong colors?
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, color is an interesting one. We had a great presentation today on color. I think one of the challenges that we have on the Kohler side is getting that consumer to really make the commitment to color, because they're putting a fixture in their house that they expect to be there for a very long time. And so we've launched some colors that certainly have not done well for us. But I think that's a little bit of the nature of the market as well.
Trial and error. Okay, I want to talk, we have about 10 minutes left. This one is something that I think about just about every day, disruption and what's going on with the Kateras of the world, and there's a lot of private label product that is going into, that will go into those multifamily developments as that becomes more of a construction method. What are you guys doing to combat that? I mean, they're gonna start making their own flooring, they're gonna be private labeling Kova brand plumbing fixtures. Is that a major concern, or are you just gonna do it better and rely on your distribution partners to still build those relationships with the multifamily developer? How are you going to approach that? Because a lot of those guys are in this room, and I'm sure they've seen Katera and what they're doing, and they're probably trying to either fast follow or figure out how to protect themselves. But it's an interesting thing that's happening.
Yeah, I think what's interesting about that is we are dealing with the most educated buyers ever. I mean, I'll get somebody to send me an email with a question, and before I've even responded, I've already Googled it. And I'm like, well, I'm actually a resource too. But more importantly, these buyers, they want products that are going to get them past your 1-year warranty. They want to know that they are going to be able to sustain living in their home, because at the end of the day, it's a 2-parent or person income that is supporting the way that we live. I know when I get home, I have a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old, the last thing I want to do is deal with my floors. You know, I want to live in my house. I want to spend more time living than maintaining and cleaning. And so what I would say to that type of question is, there has been a lot of investment and a lot of technology that goes behind what we do, what all of us do. That level of investment is invaluable. It's the reason why Mohawk can stand up here and say, we have a 50-year finish warranty on hardwood. We have a lifetime warranty. If you have a residential carpet install of Smart Strand and a stain doesn't come out, we'll come replace it. That is not something that a builder can offer, because the bandwidth to support that type of warranty support is well beyond a year. And so I feel like for Mohawk, you know, our brand, the reputation, what we're willing to invest in, and the partnerships that we have, that in turn take so much pressure off of you and allow you all to focus just on what you're supposed to do. It allows all of us to be the experts that we're supposed to be, so that everybody is in a position to be a leader and to excel.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, from a Kohler brand perspective, we want to be the aspirational brand out there, and we want that to mean something to the consumer. So it's almost like we're always going to do that. The second piece is that goes along with that is we're always going to focus on innovation and differentiating ourselves from the competition. We will always do those things. That's going to, I think that will continue to mean something to consumers across all price points. And at the same time, you need to have the balance. You need to have the products that do that. You also need to make sure you have the products that are in the affordable price point, so that you can compete. You can compete there, but win by being that aspirational brand.
Right. So there is still that aspiration to have branded product. You know, you might not make it in a Katera project, but other developers differentiate themselves by, you know, choosing to feature aspirational brands. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. That's great. What's one thing that you guys can do better to collaborate with builders and with developers and architects? I mean, this is, John said it 100 times, and very rarely do we have all these people in the room. And how often do you guys talk to architects to really understand, you know, what they see and whether it's informing your design or it's just informing function or how the construction method happens? But just curious, and I'm sure the group would love to hear as well.
Well, I'll jump in because I'm the talker. So I will tell you, I am a very passionate person by nature, but what I'm the most passionate about with my job and my role at Mohawk is education. that to me is the biggest part of what makes all of us better. So I would say educate, 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 to the point that starting in October of this past year, I just tasked myself with focusing on my current clients and touching every component of that team. So I was doing product knowledge training with their sales team, with their warranty and care. I was going to the superintendents in the field and letting them know, did you know that our products do this? One of them did not know that he had smart strain in the house and was panicking while the buyers were in a closing. And I said, don't freak out. We can actually clean this with a bottle of water and a rag. And he was just hugging me at the end because he said, I had no idea that this product was in our program. And so to me, knowledge is power. And if we have that knowledge and we lean into each other more, that is what our jobs are. We are supposed to be partners. We are supposed to be teammates. And if we as partners and teammates take the time to educate and to put forth that knowledge, we are going to end up having that confidence. And if we have that confidence, we're going to get the sale. And my most famous statement that I say is that our process is relationships and our product is trust. And that can only happen if we invest and take the time to do that.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit of a different twist. So we interact with the architect design community on a regular basis from same training. But I think the most fun opportunity we have moving forward as the new DuPont is as we come up with the solutions, I've already solicited a couple folks, as we come up with new solutions, we want to go out and test them, pilot the concepts. So we want to come and talk to you and say, hey, we've got this new way of approaching this problem. What do you think? And we really would value that input because, and we certainly solicit it, but we're really focused on making sure that what we bring to the marketplace is never a product that we take out there again that someone goes, yeah, we're never going to do that. So it's so important for us to engage this group, which is why we're here, which is why we are a participant with Don Burns, to really try and engage this community to make sure that what we're building or what we think is the right solution for building envelopes of the future actually resonates with the audience in this room and really other audiences along the value chain.
Yeah, so I totally agree with what was stated. I'm going to put a plug out there, and it's literally an electrical outlet. We need electrical outlets near the toilets. I'm telling you that in all seriousness. We heard today from Nino about how bidet seats and intelligent toilets, those are rapidly growing in our market. Putting that outlet near the toilet, it's going to open up a lot of upgrade opportunities and a lot of potential for all of us moving forward. So please do that.
All right, I'm going to recap and then I'm going to open it up to the audience. So I heard from the group that you differentiate yourself through being aspirational, through understanding the customer, empowering your customer with knowledge, doing things better than the competition, and continuing to support all components of the value chain, from the architect to the installer to the builder to distribution. I heard that sometimes you make mistakes in design, but you learn from them, and then you're constantly innovating and investing in new processes, new products. Very forward thinking with the bathroom of the future. I worked at Kohler, so I know Shane isn't even at liberty to divulge like 95% of what he knows, and what he knows is coming, but there are certainly things that I'm sure in advanced development that will be coming to market soon. And beyond that, affordability is an issue, but just driving down that price point, smaller formats, offering maybe an upgraded product like a laminate flooring versus vinyl at a similar price point, because you're being smart about your supply base. You're using yellow pine versus maybe spruce or something. So that's what I heard, and I guess I just want to open it up to the floor. Questions that you guys have for the group? Anything? Bill?
Internet connection? Do we need an internet connection behind the toilet also? Or is it wireless?
So it's wireless, but that is a consideration, because sometimes the Wi-Fi connectivity in the bathroom space can be somewhat limited. So if you have someone that is looking to do an entire smart connected home solution, one thing, network integrators play an important role in that. They are, with the smart home, that is really a different trade than what you might normally use, right? I mean, you have your electricians, you have your plumbers. Network integrators are a new important aspect to that.
Can I ask one other question? What's the acceptability? How is the touchless faucet in the kitchen penetration? How's that going? Is it big, medium, weak? What's that?
We've had great success with our Sensate touchless faucet. We are now taking that next step with it to add voice control. And so what that's enabling you to do is, if you have your coffee pot that you have to fill every night or every morning, you can save a coffee pot setting to the app. And then you can just put your coffee pot underneath that faucet in the morning and say, Alexa, fill my coffee pot, and it will fill it to that amount that you have saved. And you can walk away, you can be doing something else, and then come back to it. So we're seeing that as a next great evolution for that product. But yes, that's the touchless faucet is a highly successful product for us.
Shane, with your connected products, how are you handling data sharing and data security?
Yeah, so right now, if we have our Verdera lighted product, which has Amazon Alexa built into it, okay? So with that product, it is like having any other Amazon Echo type product in your home, okay? So that data is going to the Amazon cloud, okay? A product like the Sensate faucet, that is a cloud-to-cloud communication between, if you're using Amazon, between the Amazon cloud and the Kohler cloud, okay? In that situation, we own that data and we aren't doing the data sharing with that. From a privacy and security perspective, our platform we're working with Microsoft Azure, which we feel is the best that's out there. All of our products have individual security certificates tied to them. So we understand we're in a very private space in the home, and I mean, we have been for 145 years, and we've got a lot of trust with the consumers out there, and we're taking every step possible to make sure we maintain that trust.
Thank you.
Okay, if that's it.
You guys.